Hello everybody and welcome to another Adventure Mode tutorial. In this video I'm going to be talking about starting a fortress and bringing adventurers to it, and then starting off with an interesting group in your new fortress, instead of just simply embarking with a normal group of dwarves. So essentially using Adventure Mode to make your new fortress more interesting. So you can either play for as long as you want, or alternatively, simply start a fortress and immediately retire it by clicking this button. Once it's retired, you will then click save to either the current timeline, or if you're concerned about the safety of that save, you could make a hard save and split the timeline. Just essentially creating a backup. But I'm not worried, so we'll just simply save the fort. Now that we've retired the fortress, we're going to create our adventurer party. Very simple. Simply create a new game in that world that you just made the fort in. Then we're going to select the adventurer option, and I'm going to create a real quick party. Just for an example, I'm not going to be too picky about our stats. We're just going to grab ourselves a bunch of elephant seal men, because I think that they would be fun to have around. And then once we get to the end, we're going to click add a new party member and add another elephant seal man. And then we're going to add another party member, and we're going to grab another elephant seal man. And then we're going to add another party member, and of course, yet another elephant seal man. And then let's say one final party member, and you guessed it, I'm going to add another elephant seal man. Because these elephant seal men are a strange shape and not the same shape as a dwarf shape, they will need gear made specifically for them. That's something that these dwarves can provide at the location that they are going to journey to. And of course, if I ever decided to re-embark with these characters, we could very easily reclaim them. I'll show you how to do that at the end of this tutorial. We're going to start and end up starting as close to our fortress as possible without having to walk past the goblins, and that is our party. To adventure! We are going to start as close to our fortress, which is right up here, as possible. Now that we've done that, we're going to let the dwarf drive, because they can see the best at night. We're going to pop up and out, and all the elephants are going to follow us to our new home. I mean, elephant seal men. We're going to go to the fast travel screen by hitting Shift-T on the keyboard, or, of course, clicking the little map icon in the bottom right corner. And now it's just a matter of quickly zipping off to our new location. Should be relatively easy to spot. Now that we're on the edge of the fortress, it won't let us go any closer. We're going to drop down by clicking the little arrow pointing down, right down here, or alternatively, hitting D on the keyboard. Now, as you can see, since we're playing as a hero, we can see that the fortress is just simply east of here. I'm going to take a real quick drink of our water by pressing E on the keyboard and then selecting the water, or I could click on the backpack icon and then eat some food, which I also need to do. Now that we've done that, we are then going to head slightly east until we find the embark location for that fortress. We've discovered the river, so all we need to do now is follow the side of the river until we find the wagon. Ah, here we have it. A bunch of dwarves. Put my weapon away and say hello. Once we've gone through the introductions, we could try and ask them to let us join them. There are various different ways to do that. Or we could try and claim the site for ourselves if we want to be super fancy. But I'm just going to tell them a joke so that they don't hate me. Now that we're in the location, we are going to retire at this location or rest for a while. Don't worry, when you do this, you can always reclaim your adventurers and they will still be okay and alive. Once the game is done saving, we're then going to reclaim that fortress by clicking on Start a New Game in the existing world, clicking on the Universe of Destiny. It is very important when you are running your adventurers to the fortress that you consume some food and drink some water before you retire your adventurer. If you don't and you forget to do this, sometimes they'll starve to death before you get the reclaim done. So this is the fortress that we started, Lantern Wads, and we click the unretire button. And as you can see, we now have a bunch of new friends in Lantern Wads. Now there is one issue that I do need to get through before we finish this video. And that is, if you are not a member of the same faction, sometimes I've had problems with them not joining the fortress. However, as long as there is at least one member of the same faction in the party, I haven't had this issue. But now that we click this button, we can see that we have this group of elephant seal men as well as this group of dwarves. Starting us off with a group of 14, and it literally took 1 month of in-game time. 2 months, actually. My bad. Now, if we decide we would like to play as these adventurers again, all we have to do is retire this fortress for the time being, and then click Start a New Game in an existing world. 3 forts, 1 adventurer, the Universe of Destiny. And then we click Start an Adventurer, whatever difficulty you want. And then we have this new option down here that says Specific Person. If you click on that, we can now see every single adventurer that we left in that fort. We can select them individually, click on the plus symbol, and add new adventurers or bring more old friends along with us. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions on adventure mode and would like something specific done in a tutorial, leave it down in the description of this video. I would love to hear what kind of requests you have for tutorials. If it's something I can't make yet, I will let you know and do my best to keep you up to date. The only real caveat with embarking on and then immediately reclaiming it the only real caveat to doing this is when you reclaim the fortress, all of the food and barrels will be emptied, meaning your alcohol number is immediately going to go to 0. So if you are going to do this really quickly, I recommend you at least have farming set up so that you can very quickly get some new alcohol brewed and not have to worry about running out of food or beer. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.